So the first thing you hear in the song is some inverted power chords, which we use quite a lot. If you pick them just the right way and palm mute the right way, you can get a lot of low end. Now and then people think we're in lower tunings, but we're always in standard E tuning. So it's just an open A1, which is just the low two strings. So just doing the open second and third frets. And that repeats under the sweep picking. So the verse riff. So you're just hammering out the notes on the 12, 14 and 15th fret on the A. And then second fret on the A string again. And that's pull-offs from the 3rd and the 6th fret. A little tail end is before it goes into the pre-chorus, and that's harmonised with this. So the pre-chorus riff, one guitar is just doing the root notes. And I'm playing this. So slowly that's. So before the sweeps come in, there's this little section on the toms. So you're just going between this B note on the A string with the same frets on the G and the D string, so you've got fret 4, 5 and 2. So and the chorus is this. Inverted power chords. You've got B, A, C, G, and that has a harmony melody which Bailey plays, which is this. So coming out of the chorus, there's probably one of the heaviest riffs in the song, which is just inverted power chords again. Essentially inverted power chords, you normally play a normal power chord on the A string, and then you put the 5th on the low string, which is why it's called inverted. A lot of the time we don't even bother with playing the D string anymore, we just stick to just the low 2 strings. Now and then we'll definitely fret that note, whether or not it's always being hit. It sounds heavier if you just stick to the low 2 strings. So this next riff we don't play like power chord shapes, we just do kind of one finger for each chord. So you've got the D and the A string, 1st fret, and then you just go between 3rd and the 2nd fret on the A and the E string. So that's. There's a slight slide into the. So before the guitar solo kicks in, there are some sort of clean overdubs that I do, essentially these 2 chords. So one of the trickiest riffs in the song is this one. So slow down, that is. even slower. So that run, really slow, is. That's the same frets on the D and the A string, so you've got 10, 9, 7, 10, 9, 7. And you go down to, you add in the 6th on the A string, and then frets 8, 7 and 5 on the low E, so that's. So the last new riff you hear in the song is this one. So slow down. And that's harmonized with. So for the sweeping in this one, it's just two basic arpeggio shapes. You've got the A minor one, which is the most common sort of shape that I'm using, is this one. That's the root note there, A, and then we add in this note just to kind of make it loop a bit easier. And the second one is a B, I think it's like a dominant, sort of like a major one. And there's the root note there. So when it comes to this one and learning the sweeps, it's all about just doing it as slow as you can, trying to be even and trying to just be consistent and pick every note properly. It's way more impressive and satisfying as well as a player to just get this tight at a slower speed than trying to rush ahead and try and play it at full speed and play it sloppy. If you can get it tight, 20 BPM under the speed it's meant to be, it's going to serve you better in the long run. And like I say, it's definitely more impressive to be able to play something tight than trying to play something and it just sounds sloppy and bad and you're missing notes and you're making fluffs and like scrapes and stuff. You just have to have a really sort of attention to detail for this kind of thing. I sort of talked about this a bit in the video I did, how to play as cleanly as possible. But you really just do have to be a perfectionist. Don't try and skip over the slower speeds just to try and be impressive. If you try and play fast and you haven't put in the groundwork for playing cleanly and everything else, you're not going to be impressing people if you're just kind of randomly trying to sweep it and it's just full of mistakes and scuffs and you're not hitting frets properly. Like I say, if you watch that video, I kind of talk about that in more detail there. So the basic arpeggio shape. Then it moves up to. So when it comes to the tap notes on the right hand, I always pick with my index finger. You get a lot more strength and power and dexterity from this finger. It's easy to center it and hold it and ground it with your thumb and these fingers and sort of grip the edges of the fretboard. You got a lot more scope than this finger. And the main reason is because, you know, I pick like a normal person. It's so easy just to hold my pick normally and then just do that, and then I'm ready to tap. So if anyone gets in the habit of using this finger to tap, no matter who you see using their index finger, it's so much better to use this finger for tapping on all kinds of levels. So definitely, if you don't already do most of your tapping with your middle finger on your right hand, then try and switch up. And like I say, it's so much easier when you go in between picking notes and adding in tap notes and stuff here and there, just off the cuff, as opposed to doing big tapping sections. So when it comes to sweep picking and stuff in our music, I only really do it as like a melodic thing to try and outline interesting chords. or chord changes, or you know, whether it's major, minor, or whatever. And if I try to play like is a full chord, it would just sound like a mess with this much distortion in, you know, in what we do. So I try and use the technique musically and not just do some random sweeping in solos and stuff. You rarely hear me doing, you know, kind of boring, that kind of stuff in my guitar solos. I try and be more tasteful, or if it's going to be aggressive and fast, then I try and avoid sweep picking. So as much as we're sort of known for doing it, I only really like doing it just as like a loop, like a hypnotic kind of looped sort of phrase. So I'll break it down really slowly again. One thing I always do when I sweep pick is alternate pick when I get to the A string.